Vasudevai 3 times, please.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita, 1.46. Okay. Acharyam mam vijaniyan nava manyate karhi ched na marya buddhya suyeta sarva deva mayo guruhu.
One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him as an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods.
Text 47. Shiksha Guru ke tajani Krishnera Swarupa Antaryami Bhakta Shrestha Eidu Virupa.
One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord.
Text 48. Naivopayantya pachitim kavayasya vesha brahmayushapi kritamrida muddha samarantaha yantorbahistanu ashubham vidunvan acharya chaitya vapusha sagatin pyanapti.
O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you.
Text 49. Tesham yatata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tadhami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Text 50. Yatha brahmane bhagavan swayam upadishyanu bhavitavan.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan, taught Brahma and made himself realize.
Text 51. Jnanam parama guhyam ne yad vijnana samanditam sarahasyam sad angam cha grihana gaditam maya.
Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you. For transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific but also full of mystery.
Text 52. Yavan aham yatha bhavo yadrupa guna karmakah tataiva tattva vijnanam astute mad anugrahat.
By my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestation, qualities, and pastimes.
Text 53. Aham eva sam evagre nanyad yat sad asat param paschadaham yat etapcha yo vashisyeta sosmyaham.
Prior to the cosmic creation, only I exist, and no phenomena exist, either gross, subtle, or primordial. After creation, only I exist in everything, and after annihilation, only I remain eternally.
Text 54. Rite ritam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyad atmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha.
What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection on a real light in the shadows. For in the light there are neither shadows or no reflection.
Text 55. Yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshu cha vacheshu vanu pravishtani apravishtani tatha teshu nateshu vaham.
As the material elements enter the bodies of all living beings and yet remain outside them all, I exist within all material creations and yet am not within them.
Text 56. Etavad eva jignasyam tatha jignasunatmanaha anvaya vyatirekabhyam yasyat sarvatra sarvada.
A person interested in transcendental knowledge must therefore always directly and indirectly inquire about it to know the all-pervading truth.
Text 67. Chintamani jayati samagrir gururme shiksha guru cha bhagavan shikhi pincha maulihi yatpada kalpataro pallava shikhareshu lila swayambara rasam labhate jayashrihi.
All glories to Chintamani and my initiating spiritual master, Somagiri. All glories to my instructing spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who wears peacock feathers in his crown. Under the shade of his lotus feet, which are like desire trees, Jayashri Radharani enjoys the transcendental mellow of an eternal concert.
Text 68. जीवे साक्षात नहीं थाते गुरु चैत्य रूपे शिक्षा गुरु हय कृष्ण महंत स्वरूपे.
Since one cannot visually experience the presence of the Supersoul, he appears before us as a liberated devotee. Such a spiritual master is none other than Krishna himself.
Text 69. Tatuduhu sangam utsrisya tatsu sajate buddhiman santa evasya chindanti manovhyasangam uktibhihi.
One should therefore avoid bad company and associate only with devotees. With their realized instructions, such saints can cut the knot connecting one with activities unfavorable to devotional service.
Text 60. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hrikarnarasayana kathaha tajjo sanada swapavarga vartamani sraddharatir bhaktir anukramishyati.
The spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees, and it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens, and gradually one attains firm faith that in due course develops into attraction and devotion.
Text 61. Ishvara swarupa bhakta tandre adhisthana bhaktira hridaya krishnera tattva visrama.
A pure devotee constantly engaged in the loving service of the Lord is identical with the Lord, who is always seated in his heart.
Text 62. Sadhava hridayam manyam साधूनां हृदयं त्वहं मदन्यते न जानन्ति नाहं तेभ्यो मनागपि.
Saints are my heart, and only I am their hearts. They do not know anyone but me, and therefore I do not recognize anyone besides them as mine.
Text 63. भवद्विद्धा भगवता तीर्थभूता स्वयं विभो तीर्थि कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तः स्तेन गुदाभृता.
Saints of your caliber are themselves place of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage.
Text 64. ते भक्तगणः यद्विविध प्रकार पारिषदगण एक साधकगण आरि.
Such pure devotees are of two types: personal associates, parisas, and neophyte devotees, sadhakas.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Indrelekha Mataji and Asha Mataji. So beautiful recited this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thank you so much. Very nice. Okay, we got the devotee chant Siddha Sundari Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam, Usha Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Hallelujah, Shishilo Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji, and all devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Do we have Prabhuji as well? Ram Lalla Prabhuji Mataji?
Prabhuji is there, but he's not well. Maybe if he
Yes.
can manage, he will reply. Otherwise, maybe not. Just he's listening.
Sure, Mataji.
Give your prayers. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we shall move next to the Japa session. And the devotees, wherever it is possible, kindly chant loudly. Can I request any dear devotees to the Panchatattva mantra before we start Japa?
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna.
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Ram, 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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
जय
Hare
श्री कृष्ण
Ram,
चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If anyone has not yet completed, kindly complete that turn behind. So meanwhile, we shall move to the next part of our program. And we got Sangeeta Mataji and family. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for kindly joining. All best to Srila Prabhupada. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. All praise to Shri. Yeah, today we'll be doing Jeep Jago.
Jeev Jagat. Yes. Mataji. Yeah, when you are ready, Mataji.
Kanshi is leading today. Jeep Jago, Jeep Jago, Gora Chand Bhale.
Jago, Jeep Jago, Gora Chadabale.
Jeep Jago, Jeep Jago, Gora Chand Bhale.
Vata Nidra Jagumaya, পিশাচির বলে
কত নিদ্রা জাগো মায়া পিশাচির কোলে
মায়া পিশাচির বলে
কত নিদ্রা জামায়া পিশাচির কোলে
ভজিব বলিয়া সে সংসার ভিতরে
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 বলিয়া রহিলে তুমি পবিত্র ভারে
ভুলিয়া রহিলে তুমি অবিদ্যার ভার
বলিয়া রহিলে তুমি পবিত্র ভারে
ভুলিয়া রহিলে তুমি অবিদ্যার ভারে
তোমারে লইতে আমি হইল অবতার
তোমারে লইতে আমি হইল অবতার
তোমারে লইতে আমি হইল অবতার
তোমারে লইতে আমি হইল
বন্ধু কে আছে তোমার
আমি বিনা বন্ধু কে আছে তোমার
বিনা বন্ধু কে আছে তোমার
আমি বিনা বন্ধু কে আছে তোমার
এনেছি শান্তি মায়া নাশিক ভরলা আগে
এনেছি সুখী মায়া নাচে লাগে
হরি নাম মহা তুমি মাহি
হরি নাম মহামন্ত্র লাও তুমি মারি
হরি নাম মহামন্ত্র তুমি মাগে
হরি নাম মহামন্ত্র লাও তুমি মারি
ভগত বিনোদ প্রভু চরণে পড়িয়া
ভগতি বিনোদ প্রভু চরণে পড়িয়া
ভগতি বিনোদ প্রভু চরণে পড়িয়া
ভগতি
Vinoda Prabhu Chare Puriya Nama Mantra Loila Magia Hari Nama Mantra Loila Magia Hari Nama Mantra Loila Magia Shri Hari Nama Mantra Loila Magia Jago Jago Gora Chadabale Deep Jago Gora Chadabale Jago Jago Gora Chadabale Deep Jago Gora Chadabale Drajamaya Vishachirabale Atoni Drajamaya Vishachirabale Jago Jago Gora Deep Jago Gora Chandabale Jago Gora Chandabale Deep Jago Gora Chandabale Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nanda Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe Sita Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Radha Landaneshwara Radha Landaneshwara Radha Landaneshwara Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Landaneshwara Radha Landaneshwara Radha Landaneshwara Shri Radhe Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo
Hare Krishna, Pranshi Prabhuji and Prabhasha Mataji, Sanjita Mataji. So beautiful Kirtan, very nice, so devotional and very nicely sung.
Hare Krishna, amazing how the family is staying together and praying together. We grow together. This is very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Mataji, all glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Beautiful, blissful, and thank you. Nice to see you, Om Prabhuji. Hari bol.
Hare. Okay, so thank you so
Did
much.
we need to read the meaning or is it okay?
Yes, Mataji, if you wanted to read that, kindly read the very small one. Yes, please.
Our Garang is calling. Wake up, sleeping souls. Wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. Take this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I fall at the Lord's feet, having taken this Mahaman.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nice. Thank you so much. Okay, we need to wake up. We have forgotten we have devotional service. Okay, we need to wake up. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. We shall move to the next part. It is the Guru Vandana by Sita Sundari Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes.
Thank you. And also, do you have Mampi Mataji to respond? If not, Devashish Prabhuji, are you available? Okay, so can I request anyone to respond to Mataji? Sita Sundari Mataji? Or if Mataji is
Yes,
okay,
Prabhu.
Ushama.
Hello, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Sita Sundari Mataji, when you are ready, Mataji, please.
Okay. Who will respond me?
I am Mataji.
Okay. That's fine. Hare Krishna. Shri Guru Charana Padma কেবল ভকতি সদ্ম
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma
শ্রী গুরু চরণ পদ্ম কেবল ভকতি সদ্ম
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma
বন্দ মুই সাবধান মতে
Bandhamai savadana mate
বন্দ মুই সাবধান মতে
Bandhamai savadana mate
যাহার প্রসাদে ভাই এ ভব তরিয়া যায়
Jahara prasade pai e bhavaturiya jai
যাহার প্রসাদে ভাই এ ভব তরিয়া যায়
Jahara prasade pai e bhavaturiya jai
কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি হয় যাহা হতে
Krishna prapti hoi jahan hoite
কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি হয় যাহা হতে
Krishna prapti hoi jahan hoite
গুরু মুখ পদ্ম বাক্য চিত্তেতে করিয়া ঐক্য
Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Tite Koriya Yakya
গুরু মুখ পদ্ম বাক্য চিত্তেতে করিয়া ঐক্য
Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kuriya Yakya
আর না করিহ মনে আশা
Kariva Mani Asha
আর না করিহ মনে আশা
Kariva Mani Asha
শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এই সেই উত্তম গতি
Sri Guru Charani Sati Aise Uttamagati
শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এই সেই উত্তম গতি
Sri Guru Charani Sati Aise Uttamagati
যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা
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 চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সেই
চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে
চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সেই
চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে
দিব্য জ্ঞান হৃদে প্রকাশিত
দিব্য জ্ঞান হৃদয় প্রকাশিত
দিব্য জ্ঞান হৃদে প্রকাশিত
দিব্য জ্ঞান হৃদয় প্রকাশিত
প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে
প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে
প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে
প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে
বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত
বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত
বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত
বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত
শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু
শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু আতম জনার বন্ধু
শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু
শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু আতম জনার বন্ধু
লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন
লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন
লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন
লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন
আহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া
প্রভু করো দয়া পদ ছায়া
হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া
মহাপ্রভু করো দয়া মোরে পদ ছায়া
এবে যশ ঘুষুক ত্রিভুবন
এবে যশ ঘুষুক ত্রিভুবন
এবে যশ ঘুষুক ত্রিভুবন
এবে যশ ঘুষুক ত্রিভুবন
হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া
মহাপ্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মোরে এই পদ ছায়া
হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া
মহাপ্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া
এবে যশ ঘুষুক ত্রিভুবন
এবে যশ ঘুষুক ত্রিভুবন
শ্রীলা প্রভুপাদ লইল শরণ
শিলা প্রভুপাদ লইল শরণ
গুরুদেব লইল শরণ
গুরুদেব লইল শরণ
জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ
জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ
জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ
জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ
জয় জয় গুরুদেব 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 জয় জয় গুরুদেব
জয় জয় গুরুদেব 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 জয় জয় গুরুদেব
নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল
নিতাই গৌরা হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌরা হরি বল
শ্রীলা প্রভুপাদ কি
Yeah.
আপন আপন গুরুবর্গ কি
জয়
হরে কৃষ্ণ
হরে কৃষ্ণ
হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ মাতাজি
নিতাই গৌর প্রেমানন্দে হরি হরি বল
Very beautiful Sita Sundari Mataji. So nice. Anusha Mataji. And both Matajis did very nice. So nice. Thank you so
Give
much.
all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
very
Thank you
nice
for giving opportunity.
very much
Blessed to hear you, Mataji, after so long. Nice Guru Vandana.
Okay, thank you. Hari bol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So we shall move to the next part. Mangalachan prayers by Meenakshi Mataji. Hare Krishna Meenakshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानं जन्मशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा माह्यं ददाति स्वपदात्मयम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदा कमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रतं सहगणा रघुनाथं विनीतं तमसा जीवं सात्वतं सर्वधनतं प्रणजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदं सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखात्मज हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकञ्च गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्तादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Meena Mataji. So beautifully done. Mangalachan prayers. Very nice. Thank you so much. We shall move to next is the Premadhvani prayers by Prabhavati Sati Mataji is going to lead. Mataji does until the key and then we all follow behind with Jaya as a response. Okay, Mataji, when you are ready, Mataji, kindly start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think I have some issues here. I'll try Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Jaya Nitya-lila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtottara Shatasri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Maharaj Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
Jai.
नवाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की
Jai.
इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा मई की यमुना मई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की संकीर्तन यज्ञ की बृहद मृदंग की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hari.
all Gurishta assembled devotees
Hare
all Gurishta assembled devotees
Hare
all Gurishta Sri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna. Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. So nicely led. Okay, so that with that one, we are done with the Mangalachan prayers. Now we shall move to the next part. Now we have got Krishna Keshav Prabhuji with us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Keshav Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada. You may not be able to see me very well.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's a bit.
I've got some light coming in from behind me.
Right. Okay, Prabhuji, would you like to share your screen, Prabhuji?
Sure, yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, very much.
Okay, so before I share my screen, thank you for inviting me back today. Really very nice to see you all again this evening, and I'm back home, back in London. So we'll begin with a short prayer. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschartade Shatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pungam Langete Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gauri Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I've been asked to talk a little bit today about Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila, verses 48 to 50. So let's talk about these verses. And if anybody know anything about these verses before I continue, would anybody like to chime in with anything? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, go
on. So just trying to understand. So here, this is what the Buddha was speaking to Krishna.
Yeah.
That verses Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila, chapter 1, verses 48, 49, and 50.
Yeah.
So here, Buddha is mentioning to Krishna, saying that no one can repay the debt to you, O my dear Lord. Likewise, one is the gratitude.
Yes.
Like you always inside the heart of the devotees, outside as a gurus, and in so many ways, you help the living entities to experience and fulfill their desires. That is showing the gratitude.
Yeah.
And also Krishna gives intelligence to the devotee, how they can come back to the Lord. That is the second verse.
Yeah, good points. So Uddhav is speaking to Krishna there, and he's expressing how he can never repay the debt of gratitude that he owes Krishna. There's a reason why he does that. And there's a reason why within this text, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami follows that text up with a text from the Bhagavad Gita. So we have one from the Bhagavatam, one from the Bhagavad Gita, and one from the CC, all in a row. It's quite interesting. So these verses, 48, 49, 50, they fall within a group of verses that start within verse 47 in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Verses 47 to 58, and specifically referring to text 48, 49, and 50, which we're discussing today. In these texts, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he beautifully breaks down the crucial role of the Shiksha Gurus, or instructing spiritual masters. And he emphasizes that the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself guides the conditioned souls through two principal mediums. One as the external spiritual master, and internally as the supersoul. And this is how the intelligence reaches us. This is how he gives us the intelligence to become, to be able to go back to him slowly over time. Specifically, these verses highlight to us how Krishna compassionately manifests as the instructing spiritual master, or Shiksha Guru, to guide devotees back home, back to Godhead. Text 48 states that even as Prabhu's just said, even the greatest transcendental poets, even the greatest scholars, even the greatest devotees, they cannot fully express how grateful they are and how much they feel they owe to Krishna, who appears externally in the form of the spiritual master and internally as Paramatma to deliver us. This is all for our benefit. So in verse 49, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he further elaborates by citing Bhagavad Gita 10.10. And this is where the Lord promises to grant transcendental intelligence, if you like, to those devotees who serve him with love, serve him with devotion, and serve him unconditionally. It's difficult to do. And this highlights a really important point that we need to remember, that we're being instructed through the medium of scripture and through our spiritual masters and through association, that there is reciprocation that takes place between Krishna and his sincere devotees. The Lord, excuse the phone going off in the background there. So the Lord personally ensures the spiritual advancement of the devotee, who serves him with love, who serves him with devotion, and gets to that point where he can serve him unconditionally. And then verse 50, which is the other verse we're going to talk about, reinforces, if you like, the role of Krishna as the original instructor, as the original spiritual master, from whom all knowledge comes. And it cites the example of Lord Brahma, who received spiritual enlightenment directly from Krishna. Remember, we are Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So knowledge went from Krishna to Brahma down through the disciplic succession or parampara down to Madhvacharya, and so on and so on and so on till it comes to us. So there's another point that's being made here about parampara, and how even Lord Brahma received this spiritual enlightenment directly from Krishna. So it establishes the parampara system, and it underscores how necessary it is to be within the disciplic succession, to receive knowledge from a chain of spiritual masters. So it's not higgledy-piggledy from anywhere. There's continuous knowledge. And it also defines to us how authentic that knowledge really is. And if we go through parampara, it is actually the proper and most authentic way of receiving genuine spiritual knowledge. So in essence, these three verses, they light up the crucial relationship between devotee and spiritual master, and stress the necessity to us of guidance from both external Shiksha Gurus and internal guidance from the Supersoul. If you remember in the last couple of classes, we talked about listening internally. These verses, they remind us that our spiritual progress is not merely dependent on our own efforts, but I guess you could say is significantly enhanced by sincerely serving and following the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, because those spiritual masters, those gurus, are empowered representatives of Krishna himself, and we'll come to that later. So we as devotees, we're encouraged to remain firmly situated in devotional service and encouraged to regularly receive guidance and mercy through the timeless teachings of the acharyas and the spiritual masters and the senior devotees and the Shiksha Gurus. This way we can ensure our safe return back to Krishna. So now we've had a little bit of a summary about that. Let's look at the verses, shall we? I'll share my screen now. Just bear with me while this does some funny things here. There we go. So text 1.48. Anybody feel brave enough to try the Sanskrit on this one? It's quite a difficult one. Go on, Prabhu. Go on.
Yes, requesting Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. Would you like to try, Mataji? If they're available.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is that the verse you want me to read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, the Sanskrit. Can you do it?
I'll try,
All right, have a go.
Prabhuji.
It's a difficult one.
नैवोपन्त्या अपचितिं कवय ते वशाम् ब्रह्मा आयुष्य अपि कृतं वृद्धमुधा स्मरन्तः यो अन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृताम् अशुभं विधुन्वन् आचार्य चित्तया वपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ति.
Very good. Very good attempt. It's a difficult verse. Well done.
Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji.
Well done indeed. You did very well. Would you like to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma, for you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you.
Yeah. So this is Uddhav speaking to Krishna here, and he's really, really, really filled with love, filled with joy, and filled with gratitude. But he says, there's no words to describe. There's not even anything that I can do or say that can repay my debt to you. Because he's saying you appear in two features. Externally as the Acharya to give me instruction, and internally as the Supersoul, as my witness and my guide. Always watching, always caring, always pushing me in the right direction, even if I don't want to listen. To deliver, he says, the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. Isn't that beautiful? Naivo payanti apachitim kavayaste vasha brahma yushapi kritam rudamura smaranta yuntarabhistanubhritam ashubham vidunvan acharya chaitya vapusha svagatim vyanakti. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. And then in text 49, this is a verse from the Bhagavad Gita that we find in text 49 of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yenamam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. And then text 50. Yatha brahmane bhagavan svayam upadishyanubhavitavan. I think that's right. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan, taught Brahma and made him self-realized. So what's going on in these verses, and why are they actually so beautiful and so important? This first verse, O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma, for you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. This verse is really significant because it highlights the two roles that Krishna has. One as the internal guide and witness, the Supersoul, and the external teacher, the spiritual master. And it underscores the importance of accepting a spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master within Parampara, and recognizing the Lord's guidance from within. It's something we talked about a lot over the last couple of times I've seen you. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Krishna is unimaginably dear to the heart of his pure devotees. Indeed, we could even say 10 million times more precious to them than their own life itself. Such depth of devotion underscores the profound relationship between the Lord and his devotees, and it surpasses all material calculations and sentiments. This is what Srila Jiva Goswami expresses. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he expands on this point, and he explains that even if a devotee were to continuously render pure devotional service for the entire duration of 1,000 universal creations, he would still feel unable to repay his spiritual indebtedness to Krishna. This is because the gift of loving devotional service at the lotus feet of Krishna is infinitely more valuable and incomparable to any other boon or reward. He says, the very opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord is itself the highest possible mercy and grace. So Krishna, we already know, he appears in every living being's heart as Paramatma, but he also is very compassionate because he manifests externally in two forms. What are those two forms? Anyone? One you should know. In fact, you should know both, but let's see if you can guess the two forms.
One as a guru.
Yes.
As a guru.
Yep. As a guru. Anything else?
Paramatma?
Paramatma we've already talked about. That's internal.
Is it,
So
is it the scriptures,
Krishna
Prabhuji?
appears externally in two forms to us. One
Is
as
it the,
guru and one as
the scriptures?
the scriptures. Exactly. Yes. Those are his. This is literary incarnation, isn't it? Yes. It's there for our benefit. It's a timeless piece of wisdom. So we have these two wonderful ways of engaging with Krishna. You know, one we can read and take the instructions, you know, from our Vaishnava acharyas, from our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, you know, and so what we're doing is we are getting their Vani Seva, aren't we? We're performing Seva in a way because we are taking instruction by hearing, not just to the scriptures, but also to the commentaries when we read them. Particularly, of course, these two books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Our scriptures, our sacred texts, they're non-different from the Lord himself. And that's why we treat them with such respect, or we should be treating the books with such respect. So these sacred texts are non-different from Krishna himself and serve as our authority, as our authoritative guide in understanding these deep spiritual truths and also learning how to execute devotional service properly. If we draw from the Srimad Bhagavatam and the teachings of prominent Vaishnavacharyas, we'll find one thing becomes very clear, that this divine arrangement of internal and external guidance is really, really important. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.29.6, which is the verse we just talked about, it beautifully explains that even the most eloquent sages, they can't adequately describe their gratitude towards Krishna, because Krishna is tirelessly facilitating the spiritual progress of all these conditioned souls. Can you imagine how many millions of souls there are in the world? He's not just looking after the devotees, he's looking after everybody. Everybody is his creation. Everybody is really his devotee. We just take it a bit more seriously. But that doesn't mean he doesn't care about the others, because he very much does. In fact, in some ways, they're more important, because he needs to bring them back. We're already hooked. But he needs to engage with them. He needs to find a way to engage with them, doesn't he? So he's tirelessly facilitating their spiritual progress through different lifetimes, through different levels of conditioning. And he does this through all these multiple compassionate manifestations that he has: spiritual master, devotees, scriptures. Srila Prabhupada often quoted Bhagavatam 1.2.18, stating that sincere devotion, bhakti, spontaneously awakens by rendering what we call Mahat Seva, or service to devotees. And this highlights the importance of associating with pure devotees and receiving their instructions within parampara, or within disciplic succession. Our Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures teach that our greatest spiritual fortune is the guidance that we receive from the spiritual master and also from the scripture, because both represent the compassionate nature, presence, and direct intervention of Krishna himself. So he's put into place a divine system for us to ensure that, sincere devotees can safely find their way, through this ocean of material existence and somehow find their way back to him, the ultimate goal. And they do this through devotional service. And through devotional service, they develop pure, unalloyed love for Krishna too. So the next text, 49, is actually from Bhagavad Gita. It's text 10.10. So I just want us to read. There's two purports actually, which Srila Prabhupada has written. He's written one for Bhagavad Gita 10.10 and one in CC 1.49. So if I can ask somebody please to read the next two slides, which are the purports, then we can talk a little bit about them as well. I'm just going to share it on the screen. Somebody like to read, please?
Do we have Hangma Mataji to read? Hare Krishna, Hangma Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I read both of the paragraphs, Prabhuji?
Yeah, the whole slide and the next one.
In this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord, instructing Arjuna, said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now, Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness, that is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence and yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yoga. In other words, Buddhi Yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this, therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in Karma Yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, he is acting in Jnana Yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, which is complete yoga. This yoga is the highest perfectional stage in life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him.
Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to read the next one as well, which is the purport from CC Adi-lila 1.49? Both purports refer to the same verse.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. This verse of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 10, clearly states how Govinda Deva instructs his bona fide devotee. The Lord declares that by enlightenment in theistic knowledge, he awards attachment for him to those who constantly engage in his transcendental loving service. This awakening of divine consciousness enthralls a devotee who thus relishes his eternal transcendental mellow. Such an awakening is awarded only to those convinced by devotional service about the transcendental nature of the personality of Godhead. They know that the Supreme Truth, the all spiritual and all powerful person, is one without a second and has fully transcendental senses. He is the fountainhead of all emanations. Such pure devotees, always merged in knowledge of Krishna and absorbed in Krishna consciousness, exchange thoughts and realizations as great scientists exchange their views and discuss the results of their research in scientific academies. Such exchanges of thoughts in regard to Krishna give pleasure to the Lord, who therefore favors such devotees with all enlightenment. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Nicely read. So these instructions, or Srila Prabhupada's commentary, very similar, but he's pointing us to the fact that even if we don't have that spiritual intelligence and we get connected to devotees, somehow something will come, a little spark will come. Krishna will put some thought into your head, some feeling into your heart. And from there, things start to open up. The path of devotional service becomes illuminated. So in this verse, Krishna is saying, Desham satata yuktanam bhajatam prittipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. He says, constantly devoted to serving me with love. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. He's saying this directly to Arjun, and it's been replicated here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada beautifully clarifies this for us. He reminds us that Buddhi Yoga, or spiritual intelligence, or devotional intelligence, if you like, signifies actions that we fully perform in Krishna consciousness. He tells us that this is the highest form of intelligence because it directly connects us to Krishna and it helps us to get over these material entanglements that we have and return back home to Godhead. Prabhupada, he further clarifies, he further underlines for us that buddhi means intelligence. Yoga indicates a connection or union. So buddhi yoga specifically refers to the intelligent decision to engage wholeheartedly in devotional service to Krishna. Remember, we always have a choice. That's why we have atheists, people who don't believe. They have a choice. When we consciously perform activities aimed exclusively at pleasing Krishna, just when I say exclusively, I mean exclusively, without any tinge of any kind of ulterior motive. Like, say, for instance, we're making this lovely prasadam, and we want to make a beautiful offering to the Lord. But there's sometimes an underlying theme because guests are coming and we also want to impress them. That bit about the impressing the guests bit should be out of the window. When we say exclusively pleasing the Lord, we mean exclusively. When we perform actions like in this consciousness, they constitute the purest form of yoga. And that's what we're working towards in devotional service. We're working towards that stage when we can feel this, this love in our heart that's unconditional, where we only want to please Krishna, when he is completely the center of all our activities. That's what Srila Prabhupada is basically telling us in his commentaries there. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan also wrote a very profound commentary on this, actually, and he says that for devotees genuinely striving to please Krishna, I'm paraphrasing here, Krishna personally enlightens their hearts. He provides spiritual insights that help to remove ignorance day by day by day, and he facilitates their journey towards him. We may not even realize it's happening, but we get more and more drawn towards it. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary to the Bhagavad Gita, he similarly reassures us, highlighting Krishna's compassionate nature. He says that even devotees who may initially lack any kind of philosophical insight, any kind of desire to learn these things, receive direct guidance from Krishna, because he's so loving, he's so compassionate, that he wants to shower you with that love and illuminate the path ahead in front of you. And Srila Prabhupada is also quite compassionate, isn't he? Because when you hear him write, he says, very compassionately in his purports, he assures us that the qualification for receiving Krishna's guidance doesn't depend on how intelligent we are. It depends on how sincere we are, how sincere our devotion is. And with that devotion must come active engagement in devotional service, not just that we love Krishna, but we're not doing any kind of service for him. So we must be doing some kind of devotional service. Our nature is two things: to enjoy and to serve. So if a devotee sincerely loves Krishna, he will sincerely endeavor to serve Krishna with that love, even if he appears to lack sufficient intelligence or capability. Another reason why we should be very careful about judging other devotees as well. To look at, they may not seem very much, or may not seem like there's anything going on there, but we don't know what's going on internally. So we should be very careful in our criticism of other devotees. If we are sincere, Krishna himself will guide us internally. He'll ensure our progress and ultimate success in going back home to him. So we should really take, I guess, great inspiration from Prabhupada's words here in these purports that we've just read, because it's beautiful reassurance from Krishna, isn't it, directly, given through our acharyas. Our duty is clear. Simply dedicate ourselves lovingly and sincerely in Krishna's service. We should know fully well that Krishna himself is guiding us every step of the way, internally as Paramatma, externally through our spiritual masters, and externally through the scriptures. And this divine guidance ensures that we can successfully navigate this path, and ultimately we can return back home to him. And then the last verse, this is an interesting one, because in this last verse, text 50, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Svayam Bhagavan, taught Brahma and made himself realized. And that's really interesting, isn't it? In his purport to this, Srila Prabhupada really brings to light one of the most awe-inspiring moments in all of our Shastra. And that's when Lord Brahma, the original living being, he receives direct instruction from Krishna, not through spoken words, not through words spoken aloud, but through divine sound vibration. One word, tapa. And it's a deeply significant moment in our Shastra, not just because of historical importance or cosmological importance, but because it's a profound lesson for each and every one of us. When Brahma first appeared on the lotus sprouting from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he had no teacher, he had no guide, no scripture, and no understanding of who he was or what he was meant to do. I guess even like all of us at some point in life, you know, we all have these moments, don't we, where it gets a bit lonely and a bit dark. He stood in that darkness and he sought out light. But he didn't act impulsively like we tend to do. And he didn't speculate like we tend to do. What if this? What if that? You know, what did he do? He became introspective. He searched for that voice within. And it's at this moment that Sri Krishna instructs him from within as the Paramatma. He hears this sound vibration from within, Dabba, a single word. Yet a single word that was filled with divine instruction. The Lord didn't overwhelm him with information. He just gave him one direction, Tapa, perform austerity, renounce sensual enjoyment, pursue spiritual realization with sincerity and sacrifice. And what did Brahma do? He obeyed. He went through this process of tapasya. That's not necessary for us. We kind of have our own tapasya that goes on every day in a way, you know, but this process that Brahma went through was a sacred process of voluntarily accepting discomfort for a higher goal. And Srila Prabhupada is crystal clear in his purport. A sense enjoyer cannot know God. One who is absorbed in material comforts and bodily pleasures cannot comprehend the transcendental truths of Krishna's glories. But when Brahma, he undertook that austerity, he undertook it with full sincerity, and Krishna was pleased. He revealed to Brahma the entire transcendental realm of Vaikuntha. Brahma didn't just imagine it, he saw it, he realized it. Not through imagination, but through realization that was granted by the mercy of the Lord acting from within as Paramatma. This is not just a mythological story. It's a template for divine communication. You have to listen really hard from within. You know, modern science, it allows us to speak across continents. We can send messages in an instant, can't we? You know, WhatsApp, text message, whatever. But here, the Lord is teaching us in a subtler, more refined and far more powerful way than technology can. He's teaching us the science of surrender. You know, and we do tapasya in our Vaishnava tradition, whether it's, you know, waking up early for Mangalarti, whether it's chanting attentively and spending 2 hours chanting all the way through, you know, whether it's going to the temple to do our seva in the evening or the weekend, even when we're tired or something better comes up, you know, or giving up the opportunity to go out, you know, and meet some friends and instead focus on our sadhana bhakti, or going to the temple and joining in the kirtan. These are echoes, if you like, of Brahma's original response to that sound that he heard, that one word, tapa, from within. Later on, when Brahma becomes qualified, he inquires into the Lord's potencies, and Krishna responds, giving 6 verses of, you know, sublime knowledge to Brahma. And these instructions are part of our eternal parampara, passed down to Narad, then Vyasa, and ultimately to us, through Srila Prabhupada. So just a couple of things there, I guess, you know, is the Lord, he guides us from within, but we have to be receptive. Sincerity attracts his voice. And he often begins that guidance with a simple instruction: perform austerity. We may not hear it like that, but it's there because we make changes. I'll give you an example. But before I came to Krishna consciousness, I was doing all sorts of what I thought were fun things: smoking, drinking, eating meat, fish, eggs, all sorts of things, and enjoying generally. But when I joined, everything started to fall away. All these things that I really thought I was enjoying, they became like austerities, giving them up. And there were some challenges, hurdles to get over going through them. But we make the effort. And if we respond with dedication, then divine revelation, divine instruction from within follows. Just as Brahma, he saw Vaikuntha, we too will realize deeper spiritual truths. And he continues to be speaking to us today, doesn't he? Through Shastra, through devotees, through the Vaishnavacharyas. This same Krishna who instructed Brahma is still instructing us through these mediums: Paramatma, Shastra, Guru, the devotees. He's still instructing us, but we have to open ourselves up to listen. So just like Brahma then, the instructions that we're given here are to respond with sincerity and with faith. And we can be counted among those rare souls who, despite being in darkness, find the light. Just one more thing I wanted to say was on spiritual masters. Gurus, whether they be Shiksha or Diksha Guru, they are, I guess, a Shraya Vigraha, Krishna's shelter-giving principle. They are Sevak Bhagavan, Krishna manifesting as a servant. Those of you who have already received Brahmin initiation, you'll be chanting the Guru Gayatri, as part of the daily Gayatri practice. And these mantras, these two Guru Gayatri mantras, in the true spirit of Parampara, glorify and seek guidance from Krishna in his form as spiritual master. In the Mangalarti, when we sing the Guru Vashtakam, we sing Sakshad Daritvena Samasta Shastre Yuktastatha Bhavyatta Eva Sadvi Kintu Prabhuya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. That the spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord, because he is the most confidential servant of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of a spiritual master, who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hari. I just end on this, that throughout the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he offers the greatest respect to the Vaishnavacharyas and to Shiksha and Diksha Gurus all around. And this underlines to us the important role they play in our well-being, and emphasize that they are Krishna's empowered representatives. So we should honor and respect them as such, in the same mood as Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is doing here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very wonderful session, and giving very cream of all these purports and Shastra and what our gurus are teaching, Krishna is saying. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. In your bullet points, you have detailedly explained what are the things required. And so we have got, for example, many of the Matajis, we are all working in this country. Yeah, and also just following the instructions of Guru. Sometimes it is a bit hard.
Yeah.
Because unless we are ready to execute the instructions of the Guru, we do not take the initiation. That is not yet, we are not yet ready.
Yes.
But
people do it anyway. People still do it. Sometimes I think it's almost even for some people a fashion, that we should take initiation and, what to say, what to do.
Yeah, and some devotees, though they have been in Krishna consciousness for a long time, but still they're waiting to take initiation. So,
yes.
So what could be the thing for them? What is the right thing to follow? Like, for example,
for those devotees who, let me give you an example. Everybody knows, I'll mention them, everybody knows Janavi Mataji, Janavi Harrison, yes? Now, she got her first initiation on the same day as me in 2017. And when she stood up, our Guru Maharaj said, this is the moment the demigods have been waiting for. Because she waited a very, very long time to receive this initiation. And it just felt, as she said, that it was the right time. She felt now mature enough, sincere enough to take up that initiation at that time. You know, she's been in Krishna consciousness all her life, but only taking initiation in sort of mid-30s. You know, after having done so much devotional service. You know, and there are many, many devotees like that, of course, who, you know, who take time to know when Krishna is calling from within. When Paramatma is saying, okay, now it's time you took that step.
yeah.
You know, it's not done on a whim. And you realize from those devotees actually, you know, what sincere devotional service is and when the right time, because they have waited, some of them, an awfully long time. And it's not because they didn't want to take initiation, but they didn't feel ready before that point. So what changed? So one can only, you know, assume that when somebody takes this much time and thought and effort and care, you know, to go through a process like this, they must be listening very, very hard to that guidance from within. Paramatma saying, you know what, it's time for you to take that next step. Now join with Parampara and start to take instruction within disciplic succession, even though you're already a devotee. You know, it's time to formalize that arrangement. And other people may be called to other sampradayas. You know, we say we have 4 authorized Vaishnava sampradayas. There's a reason for that. You know, if you go to Mayapur, to the Chaitanya Mutt there, you will find the acharyas of all the 4 Vaishnava sampradayas within the temple, above the altar. Yeah? To be glorified, to pay obeisances to. It may be that somebody is more suited, you know, to developing their Krishna consciousness in a slightly different way, albeit through another authorized route. The same could be said even about different religions. You know, people could be doing their thing in a different religion. I used to be a Christian, but now, you know, somehow or other I managed to find the devotees and I found Krishna, and well, it all changed for me. But it wasn't a decision I took lightly. It was a decision that took a long time to kind of understand in my head, feel comfortable in my heart. But when it happens, it was just the right time. I just knew it was the right time. Does that make sense?
Yes, devotee. Yeah. So I think so many demigods are still waiting from our Sangha. So something they're ready, so but still we're all waiting for the time.
Yes. Any more questions, anyone?
Hemlata Mataji, Sanchita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Keshav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
It's beautiful explanation how you 3 verses very nicely combining with Prabhupada's lecture purpose and Bhagavad Gita connected very nicely. And this was basically the cream of the message that we have to listen to both the form of Krishna internally as Paramatma and externally. through Guru and Shastra, and of course the chanting of the Maha Mantra, which empowers us to, clear our heart to be able to listen to that inner calling. Yeah, Prabhu, today, at one point while you were speaking, you mentioned that, atheist is like a choice. Yeah. So today in the morning, we were in our Shrimad Bhagavatam, we have a class, so by Amog Prabhu, and we were discussing Canto 3, Chapter 16, verse 26, where in the purport, Prabhupada mentions that, the demigods, not Krishna, he basically wants to fight. I mean, when Jaya and Vijaya, they got the curse as to have the 3 lives as demons. So they got the curse. So then we were asking questions like, why in the first place, like Krishna, this has to happen. So in the purport, it mentions that very nicely, that Krishna wants to come down. In the Vaikuntha, there is no fight, nothing. It's like blissful life. So Krishna, as pastime, he wanted to come here and fight. So he wanted somebody in the opposite clan to fight with. So and that's how the Leela came out. And there it says, like, here we have devotees as well as atheist. Exactly. Amoga Prabhu highlighted the exact thing. So sometimes the Lord desires devotees come into this material world as preacher or an atheist. So so when we see Lord Buddha, he came as an atheist. He did not like deity worship. He did not propagate that.
No.
So the choice, this choice of Lord, is he like showing the way that you have that choice also? So when you say like atheist is a choice, is it like the exercising of the free will? Because
So
Lord himself is
there's 2 things here. Okay. The Lord's, see here, it says here, but sometimes as the Lord desires, devotees come into the material world as preachers or as atheists. In each case, we must understand that there is a plan of the Lord. So he's got a plan for each and every one of us. And then he's got his closest associates, the people who he's going to perform his Leela with. They don't have a choice, right? He's already put somebody there as an atheist to fight with. And he's done it deliberately to show, one side to another side, the preaching side and the atheist side. Under this atheist is still, the Lord's closest, one of the Lord's closest associates, one of the people who will forever be there within his Leela. So there will be times when he will decide, okay, I'm going to ask you to play this part for me, because we need to get a message, to these Muras down there who are not getting it. You'll excuse my language. So sometimes he will do that. And other times, for those spirit souls who need to find their way. See, those ones who he's put in a position, they don't need to find their way. They're already there. They will be there doing their service with Krishna, acting out the part he needs them to act out in order for us to understand the message that Krishna needs us to understand. As Prabhupada says here, in each case we must understand that there is a plan of the Lord. And you mentioned it yourself, and it says here in the last paragraph, Lord Buddha, for example, was an incarnation, right? An incarnation means an incarnation of Krishna. Yet he preached atheism, that there is no God. But actually there was a plan behind this, and this is explained, as Prabhupada says later on in the Bhagavatam. So there are times when we have a choice, when we grow up in a situation, and it might actually not even be a choice. It might be a reaction, to something, to a past misdemeanor, or to the fact that we're not yet responsible enough to receive devotional service. So we might get born into a family of atheists and live this atheist kind of life because we're just not quite ready to give in, to surrender. So this is, okay, you guys, you're not ready, you're going to go over here. That's your reaction. Others, we might be put in a situation where we get to make a choice, where we get to live through several different experiences, and through that, we can overcome hurdles or, decide one way or another. Prabhu's just highlighted a beautiful passage here. When something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we shouldn't be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be contrary, reverse according to one's calculations. For example, we see sometimes that a powerful preacher is killed, or sometimes he is put into difficulty, just like Haridas Thakur. We shouldn't be disturbed by this, because it's probably by the arrangement of the Lord that something like this is happening. And there is always a lesson that needs to come out of it, either for the preacher or for the observer, or for both. Quite often for both. So there's many things that can happen. It's not like a template, one size fits all. Yeah. But we can say, that, by and large, we get an opportunity to decide. We get an opportunity to develop devotional service. For example, we may be not into Krishna consciousness and we see the devotees chanting and dancing down the street and we start dancing on a Saturday afternoon. But that tune, that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, doesn't go out of your head. And the next week you see them again and you hang around a bit longer. And the next week you take a book. And before you know it, you're going to the temple. So something has happened by the Lord's arrangement and you've made a choice. Okay? Prabhu has highlighted another passage here. It says, one who continues to serve the Lord, even in reverse conditions, is assured that he will go back to Godhead, back to Vaikuntha planets. Lord Brahma assured the demigods that there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by Krishna. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord. It's not always possible for us to understand the plan of the Lord, but know this, there is a plan for each and every one of us. And somehow or other, if we listen from deep within, the instructions of the Paramatma will make that perfectly clear. Does that help, Mataji?
Yeah, beautiful, Prabhu. Very nicely explained.
Thank you.
So much. And thank you, Amoga Prabhu, for highlighting the relevant text. Hare Krishna.
I have to go now, unfortunately, because I have to go and pick somebody up. I'm just being told that I'm late. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to sign off. Please accept my obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu Itanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, everybody, and thank you for having me.
Haribol for the Prabhu.
Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'm sorry to rush off.
No problem, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
please come back again. We love your...
Thank you, I will. If Amok Prabhu invites me, I will. All right, take care now. Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly participating in this one. So if we just go back to this verse, and I request dear devotees, take a turn to recite once at least that verse. It is a very beautiful verse. I want all devotees to take part in recitation. Okay, so this is tricky verse. Just only once, so due to the time. Okay, we shall start with the alphabetical order. Would like to start with? Okay, Indulekha Mataji. So you are not familiar with this. You already recited. Okay, we go. Hare Krishna. Indulekha Mataji, would you like to recite this shloka again?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, yes. Thank you. Okay. Naivopayantia pachitim kavayasya vesha brahmayusapi kritamrita muddha smarantaha yondarvahistanubritam ashubham vidunvan acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim vyanakti. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Okay, so Meena Mataji, please. Okay, sit. Mata is not available. Prabhavati Sachi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will try. This is really difficult. नैवोऽप्ययन्त्या अपचितिं कवयस्तवेषा ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं रद्दमुधा स्मरन्तः यो अन्तर्बहिस्तनु वृतम् अशुभं विदुन्वन् आचार्य चैत्या वपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ति. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry for
Okay, so I shall recite once. नैवोपयन्त्यपचितं कवयस्तवेष ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं मृदमुद्धः स्मरन्तः यो अन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृताम् अशुभं विदन्वन् आचार्य चैत्यवपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ति नयोपयन्ति अपचितं कवयस्तवेष ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं रुदमुद्धः स्मरन्तः यो अन्तर्बहिः तनुभृताम् अशुभं विधन्वन् आचार्य चैत्य वपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ते नैवोपयन्ति अपचितं कवयस्तवेष ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं रुद्धमुद्धः स्मरन्तः यो अन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृताम् अशुभं विधन्वन् आचार्य चैत्य वपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ते. It's very beautiful but it tricky words. But once we practice 3 times, then it will come properly. But the time we shall move on to next. Sanjita Mataji and family, would you like to try Mataji? You got Bengali as well.
Prabhu, it's only me now. The children are not around, so yeah. नैवोपयन्ति अपचितिं कवयस्तवेष ब्रह्माय उषापि कृतं रुधमूढ स्मरणतः यो अन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृतम् अशुभन् विधुवन् आचार्य चित्य वपुषा स्वगतिं व्यनक्ति. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Sita Sundari Mataji, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Naivopayanstapociting kavayastabesha brahmayushapi krito middha mudaha smarantaha johanta bhirstunobhitam অশুভম বিধুনব আচার্য চৈতন্য সঙ্গতিম অব্যনেক্তি. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So it is very nice. Vyanakti. Do we have Ramlala Prabhuji? Wanted to try if available, otherwise it is
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
नैव पजन्त अपिचितं कवयन्तवेष ब्रह्माश पयति कृतमधृतमुदशरन्तः जोहान्त बहिस्तानुभृतम् अशुभं विधुन्तम् आचार्य चैतन्य सगन्तिं वनक्ति.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Beautifully recited. Musha Mataji, please. Okay, Mataji is not available. Devashish Prabhuji, please.
नैवोपजस्तपचितं कवयस्तवेष ब्रह्मायुषुपि कितो मृद्धमिदु शरयन्त जोहस्तबहिस्थु नु tamo shubham vidhunna nacharyo choito bopusha shagoting bonasti. Haribo.
Do you have Mampi Mataji, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
নৈব পর্যন্ত পচিতিং কবয়স্তবেশ ব্রহ্মায়ুষাপি কৃতমুদ্ধমুদ স্মরন্ত জহন্তর্বহিস্তনুভৃতাম শুভং বিধুন্নাচার্য চৈত্য বপুষা স্বগতিং ব্যানক্তি হরে কৃষ্ণ
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Very beautiful. Okay, Asha Mataji, please.
नैवोपयन्ति अवचितिं कवश्यस्य तवेशा ब्रह्मायुषभिहृदं स्मरन्दा यो अन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृतम् अशुभं विदुनवन् आचार्य चैत्या बभूषा स्वगतिं वयानति.
Very nice, Mataji. Hangman Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. नैवोपयन्ति अपचितं कवयादवेशा ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं हृदमुधा स्मरन्तः योऽनन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृतम् अशुभं विदुर्वन् आचार्य चैत्यवपुष्वगतिं व्यनक्ति. हरे कृष्ण.
Very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you. Pallab Prabhuji, please. And Purvasha Mataji and Prabhu.
Urvasha and Pranchu can do Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Payantyapachitam kavayasthavesha brahmayusapi kritam vrittam buddha smaranta yontar bahistanu vritam asubham vidunvan acharya cheta vapusa swagati vyanakti naiva payanti apachitim kavayasthavesha ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतमृधा मुरस्मरन्त यो नर्बहिस्तानुभृताम् अशुभं विद्वान् आचार्य चैत्य वपुष स्वगतिं व्यक्ति.
Very nice.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very beautiful. Okay, so do you have Meena Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Yes, sir. नयन्तम् अपि चितं कवयस्य तवस्या ब्रह्मायुष्कृतमुद्धः स्मरन्त योगिता वहिता तनुप्रहितम् अशुभं विद्यनम् आचार्य चेत्या वपुषा सर्वगतिं वयन्ति. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Do you have Usha Mataji? Okay, so thank you so much for kindly reciting this shloka. Okay, can I request also just the translation once again, what we have recited to stress that point? Mampi Mataji, would you like to read the translation? If Mataji is not available, anyone would like to do?
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, please.
O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, would you like to share any of your insights, Prabhuji? So,
Actually, in fact, it is Lord arrangement. Everything is Lord arrangement. It was highlighted before, but we cannot understand through our material conception. We don't know how Lord is very kind, or when He give mercy, and when and how. We don't know. It is up to Him. And it is not only our material calculation. We can see only fraction of time why that is happening, why that is going on, why like this, why that person is like that, or why that person is like this. But we have to understand every cause behind something, behind some arrangement of Krishna, or Lord Krishna has some plan to give some lesson here. From the Bhagavatam, from the beginning, why Parikshit Maharaj was illusioned due to give the knowledge of Bhagavatam. Krishna was, origin was similar way, but we have to understand it is Krishna's mercy to give his devotees how to arrange even non-devotee, when even those who are atheists, to give some special mercy for them. So that's why our Jagannath is very merciful when he comes out to give his mercy. But we have to take opportunity, because some people, they don't take opportunity, means he can going out, going down and down. But we have to think about it is our opportunity, how we can take it, how quickly or immediately we have to take it without any delay. So that's why when Lord Vishnu was giving the tapa, Lord Narayan instructed him. Tapa means immediately Brahma was meditating. Who is that? How is that? Actually, he gave time for that. So different person, different situation he arranged, and we have to understand this is our lesson. Even another example we can learn about Azamil. This is one of the very important lesson. What was his auspicious? We can count different way. Even Jamdut was coming to him to pick up him, to punish him. But it is, they are blocked by Vishnudut, because they count another way. Another way means even he pronounced the name of Narayan. Narayan is a very auspicious, the transcendental name. And what was the beneficial for that? He was delivered. He was delivered. And the Narayan was, although his son name, but slowly but slowly, it was Lord's name, transcendental name. And why Azamil was giving that, we can count different way. But we have to understand, Azamil was very pious person, very nice, good Brahmin. Even he never contact with a bad association, nothing else. Even he practices all kind of Brahminical qualities, everything. He was very good person. He read Vedic scriptures, everything he practiced nicely. But suddenly, he was bad association. Only once he he was associated with a woman as a prostitute, and he make with her as a family life, and he was going down due to bad association, due to her wife. He was going down. But Krishna, remember, whenever we can do some good thing, it is account for transcendental account. And Lord arranged him, to deliver him. And at the last moment, he pronounced the name of Narayan. Actually, is a transcendental name. But we don't know, only fraction of time in this life, we can see only short time, we say, why Azamil, he did bad association, he did wrong thing, there is no pious activities. but we don't know what was the behind of that, or behind many lifetime. What was that? So if I summarize everything, we don't know from our material aspects how it is happening, and everything come from Guru and Krishna, his mercy. And a special mercy, when it comes, then we feel really relaxed. We feel, oh my Lord, how you are so kind. Oh my Guru, how you are so kind. How some devotees, how you are so kind. You arranged for me this thing. And this is giving a lesson to him and to others also. We have to take this opportunity. Opportunity should always, advantage is a ladder. We can climb up. So we have to take this thing. So then we can go up. Hare Krishna. Hare Ram. Shita
Hare
Sundar, you want to add something? Yeah, Shita Sundar want to add something.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You want to say? Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. So beautifully explained and summarized. Hari Bol. It's a very wonderful summarization.
Very nice, Prabhu. Whenever you put your insights, it's so nice from different short and from different places in Bhagavatam. Your compact knowledge and comprehensive, it allows us to observe things in a bit more better perspective. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And dear devotees, any questions you wanted to raise, or you wanted to ask, or you wanted to share? Kindly share, kindly ask. Indaleka Mataji. You wanted to share anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As usual, everything is nice. We listen to different views on Guru and how we should be behaving ourselves. And some may say that we have been waiting for long and we cannot take initiation. Some say that, okay, as the Prabhuji mentioned, some people take initiation as a fashion, right? But sometimes it's not only the Guru should see the disciple also should see the Guru, because it works both ways. If we just jump into it without knowing where we are going, what will be the end result, then it's not good. All we have to do, we have to, like, what to say, in a Hindi word, I don't remember it now, but similarly, as a Guru is working on us for a minimum 2 years, Guru have to follow up, like asking other disciples how we are. Similarly, we should do the same thing. And any Guru who just give initiation to keep a prestigious name, he is obviously not a good Guru. Similarly, a disciple, he should not take initiation for the sake of taking initiation because others are taking initiation. This is a very, very bad, very grave thing that you're going to commit. Because all that if a disciple doesn't commit himself and doesn't follow all the rules and regulations, that is going to have a repercussion on the Guru's health. All that we do, it will end up on the Guru's health. So we should be very, very careful. Some people don't get initiation very quickly. Like I knew my Guru from way before. And then when I started following seriously, it took him 5 years to give me initiation. Although he knew I was serving the temple, I was there, but he knew maybe I was not ready completely. It was matter the service I was performing. I was not ready, right? So we should not take it as something that's light. It's a very gradual process, and we should accept it, and we should abide to all the rules and regulations. In this way, we carry on our spiritual journey properly, and our Guru does not have the bad impact on him. So if we talk about Guru, Prabhuji, it's a whole class. Qualities of the Guru and the importance of the Guru, that is another class full time. But just for now, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this point. When the Prabhuji was saying that some people take initiation Dasavi fashion, or some people take it too fast or it delays. So this is what I was thinking. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Nice explanations on that one. Disciple following the instructions of the Guru. Okay, so only thing from all the scriptural point of view, just agreeing, obeying. These are the main things, and just not protesting. I can't do it. How can I do it? I have got family and responsibility. I don't have time at all. These are not the things. So, but if we agree it, Lord will arrange, orchestrate all our activities in a different format. Just agreeing it or not, that is our decision. Jaya and Vijaya, they were not protesting with the four Kumaras or with the Lord. Simply, they just asked only remembrance of the Lord in all times and circumstances. That is the only thing they prayed for it. Apart from that, there is no discussion or conversations between the Lord or the Jaya and Vijaya, or between the Kumaras and Jaya and Vijaya. So just only they have asked remembrance of the Lord and agreed what our Lord says. Bhagavan anagavahat yatam ma bhaishtu. So he says, so Jaya and Vijaya, now you leave this Vaikuntha. And he says, Brahma Teja Samardhopi Antum Neche Matum Tume. Even though I can counteract the Brahmana's curse, but I do not want to do that one. Just go, because it is Sapo Maiva Nibitaha Tadavet Vipraha. I have arranged everything. So they did not protest. Lord says they simply agreed and went there, and they took the births like Hiranyaksha, Ravanasura Kumbhakarna, Sisipal and Dantavakara. They have perfectly acted Sambramba Sambrita Samadhi Anubaddha Yoga in a enemies that propensity, in that role, they have acted perfectly. So that is a beautiful thing, agreeing to the spiritual master, agreeing to the scriptures, agreeing to the Vaishnavas, agreeing to Krishna. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. Sita Sundari Mataji, wanted to add?
Hare Krishna, just I am adding little thing or whatever Mataji mentioned. Actually, this is the actually right thing to have a guru, because our Vedic scripture, how to progress in spiritual life. First thing, surrender to a spiritual masters. So, and this is, we have to desire, we have to pray for him. Otherwise, Guru is our super soul, and we have to desire, we have to pray for him. And this is also the right way. Maybe it's repetition, but it is not fashionable way to have a guru and I need this, but we have to prepare ourselves through our part is our will, our desire. We can pray for him, and through our Shaktic mind, then we can visualize some aspects. That is Krishna's mercy, is Lord mercy, is devotee mercies. Otherwise, we cannot progress in the spiritual life. So that's why it is necessary. First thing, we have to accept this the instruction, that is find a guru, bona fide spiritual masters. This is the one of the instruction to develop in spiritual life. So this is the equation. If we want to develop in the spiritual life, what we have to do? To surrender a guru, to surrender to a spiritual masters. So this is what is a spiritual master? To progress in spiritual path. So then we have to desire seriously, attentively. We have to pray to Lord, and it is one-to-one connection with the Lord, or same Guru is the manifestation of Lord. So both way. So we have to think seriously. So and Guru, how he will come, when he will come, that depends on our desire also. So if it is late, okay, but we have to desire. We have to hold the rope to how to climb it. But we should not detach from the rope. So on the way, we have to make our plan correctly, properly. So we have to become very serious, then we can find the way. So that's why we need seriously to think about, okay, I have this path. What is this path? What we have to do? It is my decision means only Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy. There is no way. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Again, enlightening us with much of knowledge. So it is the Guru's mercy. Okay, simply follow the instructions of Guru, Vaishnava, Shastra, Krishna. Okay, so that's why Siksha Guru Tajani, Krishnera Swarupa, Antaryami Bhakta Sreshta, Yai Duyi Rupa. Okay, so in such a way, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is bringing from different parts of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, all those combinedly the cream. Thank you so much. And dear devotee, Hangma Mataji, do you have got any questions, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No, I just would like to share that today's class, it was such a wonderful class, and it invoked all the love and gratitude in one's heart, and now as well, Ramlala Prabhuji and Indulekha Mataji explained so nicely about importance of Guru Parampara, and about the importance, like how our spiritual journey is not only ours, but how our spiritual masters guide us as well, and then about pure devotion towards Lord, and how Lord will help their true devotee, and it invokes how compassionate and loving Krishna is, and when we perform our activity only for Krishna, how he will look after us, and how he will enlighten us and show the way. It was overall very wonderful class, Prabhuji. This is all I would like to share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very beautiful, Mataji. So nicely explained the summary of the class. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, any other sharings or comments?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just I like to add to Mataji, Hangama Mataji, that yes, that Guru, we have to understand who is Guru and how we will be like be showered by the mercy of Guru. So everything is explained. Just I like to highlight that initiation is not a rubber stamp, and or it's not as a fashion. So this is the starting point of our spiritual journey. Initiation means beginning, and we should always think that, so that we should be very careful so that we don't go behind or go down. This is this is a ladder, how we can now go up. So that is our only expectation in this life, spiritual life, through the association, Bhakti Sangha, like devotee association, Shastra, again the same thing. Through Guru, Vaishnav and Shastra, we are taking the shelter of Guru, and if we hold these three, Guru, association and super soul, then we will be able to reach in our destination, go back to Godhead. So this should be our goal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so different devotees explaining very nicely. Okay, anything else?
Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful explanation. I really appreciate how you have highlighted the importance for the Guru, how the initiation, and about the initiation, and how how that we can progress in our spiritual life. Thank you for highlighting it, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Anything else? Asha Mataji, you wanted to share anything, Mataji?
No problem.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Devashish Prabhuji, Mampi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It was a fantastic class by the Keshav Prabhu, Keshav Maharaj, Keshav Prabhuji. He has explained nicely everything, and after that, it's very nice class, Prabhu. I'm enjoying, so I'm just relishing. Very good.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Meena Mataji, Usha Mataji, wanted to add anything? Okay, Sanjita Mataji wanted to do. Usha Mataji.
No, Prabhu, just listening. It was nice about discussing about the Guru. And sorry, Prabhu, I couldn't unmute and just saying I'm a little bit busy. So, yes, Prabhu, it was nice about the Guru, but I don't know when we'll get the, sorry, I get the mercy about the Guru and then can go my spiritual journey. But yeah, so yeah, Prabhu, that's Guru, mercy. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
But before that, Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Ata Bhajana Kriya. Okay, so when we talk about Shraddha, everything will come automatically. Guru, everything, association, everything else. Thank you so much, Mataji. Sanjita Mataji, wanted to add any final comments, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, as everybody has said, it was a nice class by Krishnadas Prabhu, and everybody's insight after that on the topic is very nice. So really relished the class, and along with the first part of a program before the class starts. So everything was very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So all this transcendental knowledge, but when we practically see the examples in our day-to-day life, how the devotees are progressing and relishing their life and the path, how they are able to sustain among the so many calamities in their day-to-day life, we see without it disturbing, then we get the inspiration. So now we get the knowledge and we see the practical examples of the Vaishnavas, then we get more determination. So it's a journey. Okay, thank you so much, all devotees, for kindly participating in this Chaitanya Charitamrita session. So if you're all happy, we shall move to the next part, Narasimha prayers by Hangma Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hangma Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So you want someone to accompany with you, Mataji?
Yes, please. If anybody would like to join as well, then
Okay, Mampi Mataji, Devashish Prabhuji.
Yeah, we'll do, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hangma Mataji, and when you're ready, kindly start.
Hare Krishna. I'll start now. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Pralad Daine.
Pralad Daine.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Shilatanka Nakalaye.
Shilatanka Nakalaye.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Yato Yami Tato Narsimho.
Yato Yami Tato Narsimho.
Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho.
Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimhamadem Sharanam Prapade.
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringam Keshavadhrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare.
Tava kara kamala bhare nakam abhuta singam dalita hiranyakashipu tanubindam Keshavadrita narahari rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadhrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare.
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev
Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Narasimhadev
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj
Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Shri Shri Narsimadev Bhagwan ki
Jai
Jai.
Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you Prabhuji for responding. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Nicely done, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare
Well done.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Well
Krishna.
done, Drone.
Well done. Well done, Drone.
Dharan Prabhu ki
Dharan
jai.
Prabhu and
Jai.
Mataji.
Very nice. Hangma Mataji, very nicely done. And with all the devotees, I'll just make a sincere prayer to pray for Pallab Prabhu. He fell down yesterday from the bed, like with a back pain, and his left side was not working, and it was we could not lift him. So the paramedics had to come, and they took 1 hour to just take him on the stretcher to the hospital. They suspected stroke. So he was taken to High Wycombe Hospital, but they did some scans and MRI of his brain.